Good morning, everybody. This will probably be a short video today. Oh, camera's a little cockeyed. Um, so I got this idea from the OpenAI community where someone was asking for help doing reviews. And imagine you've got, thousands of reviews and you want to sift through them. The old school way would be to do like bag of words, vectorize, cluster, all sorts of stuff without actually ever looking at the reviews. So what I did was I went out to Kaggle and I found you just search for like product review, and one of the first things that pops up is Amazon product reviews, 115 megabytes. I actually think that I got this one. Another place you can do is you go to datasetsearch.google.com. It searches Kaggle, so like it's basically the same thing. So you do product reviews, and hey, look at that, 34,000 reviews of Amazon products. So there you have it. It's I think this is the same file. So I downloaded it, and let me show you what it looks like. 300 or 260 megabytes of reviews. Now these are a bunch of different products, and you see you've got all kinds of stuff, right? So you got the rating, you've got URLs. A lot of this is irrelevant, right? The primary thing that I really want is the text, the actual text of the review, right? Because this is what people are saying. Old school, you could aggregate numbers. You can look at, which reviews are more popular. But that's all math. What we want is actual semantic meaning. So what I did was I cleaned this up. So this spreadsheet is, very large, very messy. So what I did was I deleted all the rows that I didn't care about. So I cut it down to just the product name, the title, and then the actual review text. Oops, here, and then the review text. Because that's really all I care about is just what is the product, and then what did a human actually write? Because I don't really care about the number, right? People give ratings somewhat arbitrarily. Okay, so that was where I started, and then so here's and one other thing is because the CSV data, I have no idea what the format was. I had to come up to encoding, convert it to ANSI, save it, close it, open it up, and convert it to UTF-8 because it would not play nice with Python. So anyways, here's what I did was, well, here, let me comment out some of the stuff because I was experimenting without recording, which I know I shouldn't do. So let me just show you where we start. So reviews list. So this is just empty list. And then we'll load reviews.csv encoding UTF-8 as in file. We'll load it. And then what I did was if the row 0, so that's the product name, so that's what will appear here in this first part. So Fire tablet with Alexa, and there's a whole bunch of different versions of the Fire tablet, but I wanted to get all of them together. So it's like, okay, there's the Fire tablet for children, there's the 7-inch display, there's the 32, right? They're still fundamentally the same product. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to get all those together and see what people think of the Fire tablet. And so if the row, so we're reading the CSV file. So if element 0, so that's the title, if it contains Fire and tablet and not charger, because I realized some of the reviews were for just chargers, and it's like, okay, well, I don't care about a separate charger. Then that's what we want to look at. So I just kind of opened the data, filtered it all out. So let me show you what this looks like. Let me increase the font size. Properties, font 28. So you can see what I'm doing. CD summarize, and then we'll do Python summarize reviews. So this is real quick. So I've got 14,000 reviews for Fire tablets. Great. Am I going to read all those? That's going to get real expensive if we do that. No. So one thing that happens when you, if you want a human to look at something, you do what's called an audit. So an audit is where you take a subset of a whole and you say, okay, I'm going to look at a subset of these, just kind of picked at random and see how well they match up. And so what we're going to do is I'll show you one pass. So I import random seed, so that rotates the random kernel. Subset equals random choices, and so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 25 reviews at random. And then here, let's comment this out because we don't need it. And then what I do is for those 25 random reviews, I join them into a text block. And then I'll show you the length of the text block. So we'll just do this real quick so that you can see how many characters it is. Because the thing is we have a limited amount of space in our prompt window. Oh, whoops, I got to save it. Helps if you save it. So this is 3,600 characters. Let's run it again. 11,000 characters. So you see there's a little bit of variance there. 11,000 should still fit. That's actually the longest one I've seen. Usually it's around 4,000 to 6,000 is the maximum. So yeah, someone wrote a really long review. Okay, so you see it's typically in the 4,000 range. That's a perfectly reasonable number length for a prompt input. So then what we'll do is we'll open up a prompt. And I wrote this real simple prompt. I tested this online. It works really well. I'll show you an example of how well it works. But it's just write a detailed summary of the following product reviews. What are the key features that people love and hate about this product? And then you put in the reviews and then detailed summary. So I usually put the instructions both before and after the information that I'm working on. I found that this gives the most reliable results. Because sometimes, especially depending on what's in here, it might kind of confuse the model. But if you sandwich it between the instructions, it's like it goes in knowing this is what I'm supposed to do, and then you remind it of its instructions at the end, and it usually gives you pretty good results. Okay, so then we load up the prompt, we put in the text block, we get the response, and then we print the response. So let's just show you. Let's make this a little bit bigger because I know you're watching on a YouTube video. Okay, so we'll just run this. It'll take just a second to run, and then basically we'll be summarizing 25 reviews. Okay, but you're like, that's 25 reviews out of 14,000. So what do you do with that? Okay, so strengths, great price, lightweight and portable, screen is great, expandable memory, it's durable. Weaknesses, slow, some apps not compatible, parental controls could be better. Okay, great. That's a good summary. So we took 4,000 to 11,000 characters and summarized it. So then we run it again. So this is what an audit is you randomly select samples, and then you kind of you look at it multiple times. So then you say, okay, people love the affordability, versatility, and ease of use of the Fire tablet. Okay, so we see affordability, so that's repeated, so that's consistent. Versatility. So this is a little bit different. Maybe this is what they mean by lightweight and portable or expandable memory, and then ease of use, right? However, some people found that the tablet is breakable. So this is also in contrast with the durability. Does not support connectivity to a 5G network, so there's limitations. So we're seeing that we don't have a full picture. Obviously, like if you get just 25 reviews out of 14,000, you're not going to get the whole picture. But you don't need to read all 14,000 reviews. So what we're going to do is run this a couple more times, and I'll show you that this is what you do in an audit. You keep collecting samples until you see the pattern repeat. Key strengths of this product are its clear picture, nice size screen, and good price. So we're seeing price. Key weaknesses are its average battery life and charging ports. Okay. So run it again. And so this will be 4 times. Key strengths are that it's great for kids. It is very affordable and has lots of features. Key weaknesses is that the app store is a little limited and the micro USB portion gets loose. So that's probably the charging port. The pattern is also emerging. Maybe the thing that breaks is the USB ports. Okay, so that's after just 4 iterations. So what we're going to do now is we're going to automate the audit process. And so what I'll do is I'll take this. So we'll say, let's see, summaries equals list. And then we'll say for I in range. Let's see, we got to do list range 0 to 10. Actually, that might give us 11. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll basically just repeat this. So we'll say subset. So we'll just grab a random subset out of those 14,000 reviews. We'll grab 25 of them. We'll smush it into a block of text because GPT-3 doesn't understand Python lists, but it does understand text. Then we'll feed it in and we'll get the response. And then we'll say summaries.append response. Okay, but then what are we going to do? Okay, we have all these responses together. What's the big deal? So let me tell you what the big deal is. We will, and actually let me add that so that way each one has its own little dash at the beginning. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take all those summaries and we're going to do it one last time. Because in the prompt we say detailed summary, detailed. We want to know all the details. So we'll use the same exact prompt, and so this is like a meta summary. And we'll say here we'll just copy some of the stuff that works. Text block equals join, but instead of subset, we're going to join summaries, and then we will do the same thing. So we'll get one final meta summary at the very end, and we'll do a couple of dashes, new line, and then new line. So that way it'll just kind of separate it all out. Okay, so let's run this, and basically what we'll see is we'll see it do 10 or 11. I can't remember the exact logic if it includes or excludes the last number. I don't remember. That's fine. Either way, point being is we should get enough to see some patterns emerging. And then there's all kinds of other stuff we can do with these, right? We can change this prompt to, to say like not just what they love and hate, but just what are they saying about it. And then we can also ask, we could ask GPT-3 to infer recommended changes to the product, right? Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and do that. So rather than have this prompt, let's say, let's see, given the following, well, here, read the following review summaries of the product. These review summaries, let's see, these summaries capture the general, the general sentiment of this product. Recommend some possible changes to the product. Some possible, instead of changes, let's say improvements. Because changes, that doesn't specify which way. So you got to be very careful with your wording. So some possible improvements to the product to make customers happier. There we go. Okay. So then we'll say recommended improvements to the product. And then we'll tell it to start with a list. And then we'll do prompt improvements. Ta-da! Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll come down here, and instead of prompt.text, we'll do prompt.improvements. And so in this case, we're basically automating, just with a few steps, we're gonna audit the reviews of this product and then generate some actionable what's the term? Request for enhancement, RFE. So we're gonna basically generate an RFE from just a little bit of data. All right, so let's see what happens. It might blow up. I'm usually pretty good, but I've got my handy dandy coffee. All right, key strengths are it's great for travel, right size, kids mode, great for reading and Netflix. Key weakness is that it has system lag, poor Wi-Fi, and dim screen. Let's see, great for kids, competitive, does not have a lot of horsepower, so it's weak, though we keep getting that. Good for young children. Great value tablet. affordability, durable. Key weakness is that it is slow, dim. Okay. And then finally, reduce system lag, increase Wi-Fi reception, increase screen resolution, make apps more user-friendly, increase storage space, and improve speakers. So we've got some recommendations right off the bat. And then this is just a really quick summary. Now imagine you could do this recursively, and this was only like 10 or 11 or 12 queries to GPT-3. So this is actually a relatively cheap approach. Let's run it again. I'm going to copy this out to a Notepad document just for posterity's sake. So let's just copy this out so we can do a stare and compare when we run it again. So let's run it again just to see if it comes up with similar recommendations. And the thing is like, on the one hand, I know that, putting this in charts and diagrams and classifying each response, like that is an old school way, but like what we really need is the usable information. What does a human want? We don't need to translate it into numbers and then try and interpret charts. We can actually listen to what humans want. Okay, so make the tablet faster. So performance, that's popped up again. Make parental controls more user-friendly. That has popped up several times. Make the charger port more durable. See, I saw that pattern. Increase sensitivity of the touchscreen. Improve quality of the camera. So we are getting slightly different results. That's fine. But remember, each of these chunks is summarizing 250 reviews, right? And there's all kinds of prompt changes we can make. So for instance, for the original prompt, we might say, instead of write a detailed summary, we can just say list, right? We could say list all the unique bits of feedback. Actually, you know what? Let's try that. This video is not that long. It's only 17 minutes. So yeah, let's do some experimentation. So one thing I noticed is that I'm going to remove this because this is bad for lists. So we'll remove that. That's fine. All right, so let's do some prompt engineering. So instead of writing a detailed summary, let's do list all of the unique, let's see, what is it? Like unique recommendations or, let's see, points, unique points that customers are making, that customers say about this product. We want to focus on strengths, weaknesses, and improvements. Okay, so we're gonna ask for a list now. So so we'll say thorough list of all the key strengths, weaknesses, and improvements for this product. Okay, so we'll remove that. We'll prime it with a list. All right, so let's just do this, and then we'll just do one pass just to make sure that the output is what we expect. So I'm going to go ahead and once it gets here, I'll just do an exit 0. So this is kind of just a quick debug, poor man's debugging. So I just want it to do one pass and then show me the results. So we'll do summarize reviews. It'll grab 25 random reviews. Okay. It's a great learning device for kids with a wide variety of educational programs, inexpensive, very durable, slow, camera is poor. Wow, okay, great. This looks really great. Yeah. All right, so let's let this go and we'll say, yep, recommended improvements for the product. So we'll just let it summarize that. I didn't say summarize. Yeah, it said read the review of the summaries. The summaries capture the general sentiment of the product. Recommend some possible improvements to the product to make customers happier. Perfect. Okay. And then one thing that I noticed in the previous output is that they were all smushed together. So when we do the print, when we do print response, we'll we'll copy this so that there will be some vertical, some space to break it up. Okay, so let's see if we get even clearer results. Summarize reviews. All right, let's see what happens. And I'm going to drink some coffee. Perfect for kids, super easy, great parental controls, tons of applications. Customers are generally very pleased, lightweight, user-friendly. Fuse, no, it's going too fast. No Google Play Store, great for kids, great picture. Weaknesses. Kids mode not as good as expected. So by asking it to enumerate things rather than summarize, I think we're actually getting more detail. And so by getting more detail, we're going to actually see patterns emerge more quickly. And then, did it freeze? It fell asleep. Oh, it generated a really long response. Okay. So faster load times, better speakers, more control over the screen and keyboard, and Google Play Store. So every time we run this, we get slightly different feedback. I wonder if recommended improvements to the product. So here we said thorough list of all key strengths and weaknesses. Let's do thorough. Am I spelling thorough right? That doesn't look right. Okay, I did spell it right. Thorough list of recommended improvements to the product. So there we go. So if you use those adjectives, thorough list, right? Because we notice if we go back in here, sometimes it didn't necessarily, it generally followed the list, but not always. And so by saying thorough list, we're using an adjective, so that's a modifier. It's not just a short list, right? Because we look at each of these where it gave us like a whole bunch of great points, and then in the final one it just gave us 4 recommendations. It's like that's not enough for me. Like I can't send that to a product team. I need to automatically send a report to a product team that is going to like make a difference. That's going to give them a little bit more to work with. Yeah. So in the final one, this would actually be like a user story. If you wanted to integrate this into Agile, you'd actually take these insights and generate a user story. Be like, as a parent with children, I need more control over parental controls that do X, Y, and Z because my children, downloaded and spent $5,000 on my credit card, something like that. You would need a little bit more detail if you wanted to send this to a product team, but we're just doing prompt engineering. Also, if you want to contact me, I do consult. So if you have this idea, this need, and you want help consulting and making this into a commercial application, let me know. Okay, so some of these are really stupid. On fire, great buy, processor is slow. Yeah. Great, Kindle, on fire, great buy. Like, I don't like this. Very slow. Less cumbersome, awesome product. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of irrelevant details. I think it might be, I might need to do a little bit more prompt engineering. Okay. Make the tablet more user friendly. Make the tablet faster and more responsive. Improve the quality of the apps. Include a user's guide. Interesting. Make charging port more durable. See, that's one that we keep seeing. Make the tablet more stable. Okay, so we're starting to see some patterns emerge. I think that I might have messed up this original prompt because I wanted a thorough list of all key strengths, weaknesses, and improvements. Um, and I did also say list all the unique points that customers say about this product. Um, so let's see. Summarize the following product reviews as a list of key strengths, weaknesses, and improvements. Um, that might be better. So then we'll just say list of all key strengths, weaknesses, improvements for this product. I'm getting lost in the weeds. I'm just doing a little bit of prompt engineering. We're getting a little bit closer to having the pattern that we want to see. Also, one thing that you can do in the long run is if you get enough of these runs where you get the kind of formatted output that you want, especially if what you're looking for is an actual RFE, which will follow a very specific format, or if it's not an RFE, because RFEs are for products, a request for enhancement or a feature request. You might need a user story, which is for software. So those you'll want to do fine tuning. And maybe I'll do another video of those later about how to automatically generate RFEs and user stories. Yeah, I'll call it there today. I think you get the idea that there's a lot of potential for automatic data handling. So thanks for watching. Consider joining my Discord community. There will be a link in the comments, as well as consider supporting me on Patreon. If you like what I do, let me know, and I can do more of it. Thank you.